Assalamualaikum and very good morning. For those who are already in the room, can you sign your attendance in Putra the same link but the different session. So we have now around 17 of our friends, of students in the room. So we're still waiting for others to join. So again, we're waiting for your friends to join. Can you sign your attendance in Putra now? For those who are just joined the class, can you go to your Putra and sign your attendance?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Okay, again, I would like to remind you to sign your attendance in your Putra the same link, but different session. So please sign your attendance now. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. So, can we start our class with Umum Kitab Al-Fatihah for Muslim? Okay, guys, how are you? How are you today in the Monday morning? I hope you are fine.
Good.
Good. That's that's good
Good.
answer. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. That's good answer. Okay.
How are you, Doctor?
Sorry.
How are you, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah. So far I'm fine. Yeah. So far fine. Alhamdulillah. So we are still waiting for for the announcement whether the EMCO in Klang Valley is whether it is extended or it is will be ended in couple of days, right? So we are still waiting for that so that I can go to the office and then can do some live uh, video from there. Yeah. So now I'm at home, all right? So okay, any questions so far before we start our next or call that or before we continue our lecture? No. Okay. Sorry to say that. Yeah. Still, in this first chapter, we are a bit dry, meaning that I will give you. I will talk, then give you all the information, and then I hope that you can take the information seriously, because some of the notes, some of the information from it's not in the notes or it's not in your presentation slide. So I hope that you can take notes, right, by yourself, and then you can understand it. The thing is, for me, is something like understanding is more than something that you need to remember, right? So since we will have online, right? We will have an online meetings and also online so-called assessment or examination. I think you still you will know that you already know that normal exam you will have paper on your hand, meaning that your notes in your hand or in your PC, and then any assessment is something like open book. So I'm more towards the understanding now, right? Because uh, you can refer from your book, but or from your notes, but you need to understand what you are learning about. All right. Okay. So I just want to ask you before. You already learned about software requirement, right? Before, do you have you done any inspection of software documentation on requirement? Sorry, on requirement specification during your requirement engineering course. Oh, sorry, requirement specification course, guys.
Yes, I believe so.
I
Yeah.
think we
So you have done that right before. Okay, good. Uh, but yeah, I try to what call that try to make a revision on that because one of the assignment will is regard to inspecting software requirement specification. Okay, but we will discuss this later. I think once we touch that topic. Okay, I would like to record this session. I will like to. Okay, by the way, can you see my screen?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for your response. Okay, guys. Talking about quality, right? A lot of people have their own quality in your mind, right? They have something like if you want to buy something, if you want to buy a product, right? Let's say you want to buy a car, or yeah, try you want to buy a car, then you have already in your mind, right, what you want in the car, and then what is the quality characteristic of the car. The car must be some people want to have fast, right? Probably young people they want to have a really nice car, a sporty car, sporty looks, right? What else? You want to have really high horsepower, to have a really acceleration, really fast acceleration, uh, top top speed. You have uh, 200 kilometer per hour, right? Some people want to have that, and yeah, horsepower around 150 or 200 probably. What else, right? What else? The thing that uh, at in current state you want to have, the thing that you need to have in the car for you.
Safety features.
Safety features, that's good. Yeah, safety for example, Anis.
I think the basic will be the airbag.
Yeah, airbag. Yeah.
And then now you
uh,
have the detection system for
yeah.
pedestrians and everything. Yeah.
Yes, the ASA, for Produa, they have ASA,
Mm.
something like, yeah, detection of pedestrian, and also detection of car in front, right? And then what else, guys? For yeah, for men, we have some ladies say that safety for men,
Latest technology use.
latest technologies. Shazwan, can you give example one of latest
Uh,
technology?
as for uh, the audio system, the car apa, the car key,
The
uh,
car keyless. Yeah. Next, what else?
yang tu je terfikir sekarang.
Okay. So this is good one, yeah. Keyless, and also the audio system. In automotive, normally we say that the infotainment, right? Infotainment system. Because it is not only also for entertainment, because the what call it, the panel also can give you something like information, right? For the GPS, and some information on traffic and so on. So what else, guys?
Auto parking.
Auto parking is a facility, right? Auto parking is a facility or features. So what else? Yeah, that's a good one. It's a new uh, fuel saving car. Yeah, that's also something that a lot of people think of now, right? So what else?
Maybe SUV 7 seaters, or
SU.
MPV.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I didn't expect you to say that, because normally the one that have family like me, I'm thinking of something like 7 seaters, SUV, or MPV, or what do you call that? Another one is a crossover or something like that. So I'm thinking of 7 seaters and so on, because I have
I
family.
really like cars.
You really like cars. That's a good one. And then we are what do you call that? We are lucky that we have some automotive industry in Malaysia, right? We have Proton, and we have Produa, and previously we have NASA and so on. So it is something that is open to the local to join. I think, but you need to think on how to go to that domain, or that area. Okay, guys. So any specific for you, for your what do you call it, for your needs, something like that, for a car.
I would make sure it has a coupe so that
Sorry.
it's. I would make sure it has a coupe, like it has the board and the doors, the top board and the doors, because that makes the car more better at handling it.
Okay, nice, good. So some features that for you is for easy to handle, the handling part, right? So that's a good one, right? Okay, so
To go on high speed, so the cars without the top board, those cars, the open cars, they're not they're not that easy to handle compared to a closed board cars, you know.
okay, all right. That's a really specific one, right? That's good. Okay. So you have already in your mind, based on your experience, right? Based on your experience, seeing a car, or driving a car, or be a passenger in a car. So sometimes some people have their in mind what car, or what the quality characteristic of a car, right? In their mind. So now we are moving to models, right? Quality models. So models is about characteristic, right? Characteristic or of what call that, a product, right? So we are now thinking about car, right? So the one that you have mentioned before, something like infotainment, that one is a functionality, right? So it's a functionality. Something like self parking, something like that. That one is a functionality. Also, the one with the torque and so on. That one is also the functionality of a car. Safety, right? The one that airbag, something like the pedestrian detection and so on. That one is also a functionality, right? So it is something that a characteristic of a product, something like that. Okay, so quality models have been developed, right? Uh, okay, a quality model have been developed to assess both software process and also the product. So the one that we have already learned, discussed previously, right, about the car is the product itself, right? It's a product. So, but in software, we need to assess both two things. It is about the product, and also it's about the process on how to develop the product. So two things is really main thing here, right? As I mentioned to you before, from my perspective, we have people and also technology. But now in this course we really go focus on process and also the product. Okay, they discuss about for the model, they discuss about the terminology for software quality characteristic, right? And then this is differ from one technology to and another technology or another taxonomy, right? So they have their own uh, model characteristic, and also the terminology that they use is different, right? A bit different. Something like one model have also functionality, another model say functionality also one of the characteristic, right? So it is something like uh, look the same taxonomy, but the problem is the meaning is a bit different. Okay, so each model perhaps having different number of hierarchical levels and a different total number of characteristics. So it is about characteristic, right? It is about the you have to put in your mind that if we are talking about quality model, it is about characteristic they look at or they assess, right? Or the one that they think about, right? They look at the product or at the process, right? It is about characteristic, right? Okay. So various authors have produced models of software quality characteristic, right? Or attribute that can be useful for discussing, right? Planning, right? Rating the quality of software product, right? So this is the example of quality model, ISO 25010-2011. Okay, so define product quality and quality in use as two related quality models. So we will learn about 25010-2011. Okay, so this is the thing that we will learn. But for the quality, what it is quality for, right? What is the model for, right? What is the quality model? Uh, what do you call that? The usage of the quality model you can see here is it's for discussing, right? The one to discuss, because a lot of people saying that okay, as I mentioned to you before, yes, this mouse, right? This mouse is really quality, but in terms of what, right? In term, is it safety? Is it because of but they have some button of a lot of functionality? Is it is reliability? When we click, it it will not fail or something like that. and then when the battery is okay, then it will be available all the time or not. So it is something to discuss, right? The characteristic that we can discuss, and then we can reason, right? We can give a reason why we say that this is a quality, right? So we can say that if from the perspective of reliability, this product is reliable. When I just drop it off, it's still functional or something like that, right? So this is the thing that we will learn. Quality is for quality model is for. Sorry. It is kind of planning, right? Because if we have something in our mind that okay, I want to develop this one, the mouse, right? So the quality that we need to fulfill for this mouse is it should be uh, save battery, so save energy, right? And then the infrared here in bottom of the mouse should be something like safety. It is not harm people or something like that. So this is right the one that we will plan to develop a mouse, and then we can discuss okay what we want to achieve, the quality characteristic or the quality model for this mouse. Okay, and the last one is rating the quality of the software quality products, right? So you remember, right? You have some of the Malaysian product, right? Normally, if you have a Malaysian product, some electrical goods, uh, it is compulsory or it is recommended that we have a serum, right? Serum certification, right? That one is a rating of quality. Meaning, if you have a serum quality certification, meaning for that kind of product, you have already uh, passed the serum testing, right? The one who do the uh, uh, what call that the standard, and then they also have a lab to verify the product according to that standard, right? So that one is the serum uh, role in quality in Malaysia, right? Okay, this is one of the classic, right? A classical model of quality, right? It is called a McCall's quality model. It is introduced in 1977. It's quite an old one, right? It's really, really old one. So it's 1977. McCall have introduced this, right? And McCall quality model, he focus on product, right? From different perspective. The perspective of operation, the perspective of revision, right? And the perspective of transition, meaning that product operation, when we use the product, when the product go in the market and then used by the people or by the customer or the user, and the product revision, the product itself, if we want to change it and so on, right? Transition, yes, also changes of the product, but in order to transition or you change to another environment, something like that, because this is something like the product need at that time, right? In around 1977, and so the product should be operational. You can operate it, right? The product can be revised, and then you can just what call it, maintain it, and so on, and also the transition, because if you need to change a bit or change the environment, so is it can be done or not, right? So for product operation, you can see that it is the correctness, right? The reliability. Is it the product reliable? Is it the product correct or not, right? Let's say something that for the car, what is for example of correctness, when I press the acceleration pedal, it is correct that the car will move forward, right? Will move forward, provided that I put in D or first gear for the manual. So it's correct that when I press or I press the acceleration pedal, the car should move or the engine should ram, right? So that one is correctness. It is not correct if I press the pedal and then uh, my wiper is wiping the what do you call that, the screen without, yeah, there is no water or I didn't touch anything of my car. I just press the acceleration and only the wiper is on. So that's one is not correct, right? So the product should be in the correct way, right? If I mention that if I click this button, it should calculate my salary, then it should calculate my salary, not my what call it, annual leave, right? So reliability. But if you see that the correctness here, this is the quality factors, right? The first here is the quality factors. They call it quality factors here. And then from these quality factors, you can have a sub uh, factors that is called quality criteria. Okay. So for correctness, it is traceability, completeness, and also consistent. So about consistent, right? So if I press the pedal, it only what call that, ram the engine or make the car moving, something like that. Every time you do that, it should be something like that, right? It should be doing that. It's not something like doing something else. So it should be consistent, right? So operation of the product, and it is complete, right? So it is not something like if you press sorry press the pedal and then when you leave it up and then the car will ram a bit down or slowing the car, but it is not complete, right? Something that you just press and then you just leave it, and but the car is still moving and still ram. That one is not complete product. That one, the features of the product is not complete. So it's traceability. You can trace the what call that the what call that you can trace the usage of the operation when you press it, and then you know you can trace that the the user press the pedal, right? So if anything happened, then you can trace, oh, he probably before he do something here and there, but the feature will is not doing the right thing. Okay, the other one, reliability. It's about also about consistency, accuracy, and also error tolerance, right? So if something like this mouse, right? For example, we have a problem with one, uh, mouse is not a good example for this one. Error tolerance for, let's say, software, something like a calculation of your BMI software. So he didn't get any of your something like weight, right? And it should be an error calculation, right? When it's error calculation, then you have something like a notification that, okay, so you have to put your weight and so on. And then when something happened, it crash. But when it crash, it can something like error tolerance by reinitialize back the object or the software can reinitialize, so that if what I call that, even though we have done some error before, but it's still functioning after that, right? So it's something like error tolerance and reliability for the reliability. Efficiency, right? So it is efficient, execute efficiency, storage as efficiency. So when we execute, it is efficient, right? Doing the right thing that we want. And also when we want to store the information in the storage, it also do what we want. So this one is efficiency, right? Integrity. They should have something like access control, right? And also the access audit. So what is access audit, guys? What is in your mind for the integrity? One, access control, something that you if you want to log in the system, you should be a registered user, right? So what is the access audit?
Who can make changes to the
Okay, make
data?
uh,
No.
no, that one is access control. Is that's good, a good try. Access audit.
Like it used to.
Again, Haziq, it's not clear.
It is used to trace access, traceability.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Haziq. Yes, it's correct, right? Okay. Used to traceability of the access, right? So if you because if something happened, then we can have some audit the that we can trace who access the system and who do what, right? So this is the access audit, right? Because for a simple system, yeah, sometimes it is not really uh, crucial to have an access audit. But if you are dealing with the banking system, right, the one that involve financial, something like the one involved in the car, right, something like that. So you have to have something like the access audit. Who do that? What you have done in the system, so that if something happened, then there's someone to blame and also something to learn. Okay. Usability, right? Is yeah simple. Usability is something like operability. Yeah, the software should be operable. You can operate it, right? Even though it's in only a command line, the black screen, and then just calculate 1 + 2, something like that. So it is usable. If the user want to have something like that, then it's usable, right? Operable. Uh, Training. Yeah, you need to have something like a training to use the system, and commu- communicativeness. You can communicate with the software really well, right? It's not something that you cannot do anything with the software. It's not easy. Something like if you there is no button to change here and there. It is just what I call static, so it's not really communicative with you, right? The software. Okay, done. That one is the product. More towards the operation, how to use the system or how to operate the system, right? It is operation. So the second one is the revision. This is more toward maintainability, testability on the and flexibility of the system. It is more towards the system itself, right? It is not how to people use it, but the thing that I can see here for the revision, it is for the developer, for the maintainers, right? For the maintainer, software maintainer, and also the software developer itself, because we want to have software that is easy to maintain, right? What is meaning under the easy to maintain is it is simple, right? It is not too complicated to understand the product, right? And conciseness, something like instrumentation, and also the self descriptiveness, right? Something like that. So in order to maintain a system, right? So the one that's simplicity here, and conciseness here is, for my understanding, is something like the software should be easy to understand, right? The source code should be easy to understand. The design of the system should be easy to understand. But easy to understand is something like it's really really subjective, because sometimes some people have a lot of experience, probably can understand the system for for a couple of minutes, or for maybe around 30 minutes to 1 hour. Not for the newbie or for the one who just developed the just joined the software development. Probably he need to have 1 day or 2 days, or probably 1 week to understand the system, right? This is something like subjective, but you can have something like see the situation, right? If you have a development team, or if you think that you will hand over to the maintenance team, that all the maintenance team here is a really, really highly people that have high experience and so on. So simplicity is a bit different level of for them, right? It is a bit complicated, but for them it's simple. So you can see your target, right? So this is something like really subjective. So maintainability, understandability, something like that, something like really, really crucial, right? Because before you maintain a system, before you want to touch, okay, so this button for calculating my salary, or and then after that, after a while, the user said that okay, now we have new formula of calculating salary, so you have to change this. So it should be easy to understand and easy to change, right? If you are not easy, if you don't what I call that, make that one is easy, then the problem will be what I call that, affect your customer. Okay, testability. Before I move forward, I have something like yeah, uh, uh, an example of maintainability. This is based on my also my experience before. So a company, a really quite a big company, right? Quite a big company. They said that there is a problem of the software, right? Why? We asked them what is the problem. Okay, the problem is the software is not easy to change. So this is the maintainability issue, right? So and then when this software is not easy to change, then it is something like the company cannot cope the current what do you call that, the current issue, and then the company cannot release a product in specific or in short uh, in short time or in near future, right? So because normally company need to have something like they are competing to other company, right? So releasing a product one after another is something that they need to make it really fast, or else they cannot compete each other. So now software is the main pillars of product. For example, in this situation, is insurance company. So a lot of company produce a new product. So you have life insurance. This is the new life insurance. This is the new medical insurance, and so on. But the company have a problem. They have a lot of product, but they cannot translate it to the system. The system is not easy to change or easy to maintain. So this is something like influence a lot to the company. So maintainability here is something that is crucial to know, right? And also crucial to what call it, to put a focus on that, right? The next one is testability. So it's also simplicity, something like instrumentation, and so self-descriptiveness. So testability, the software, or here is more towards the requirement, right? So the requirement of the system should be testable, right? If it is something like if you put a requirement that is not testable, yeah, how you want to validate that the requirement is fulfilled. But that one is really, really normal problem in the software development, right? Okay, flexibility, right? It can be expandable, right? Scalable, something like that. Generality and also modularity. So it can be, you can add more and more features after that. It is not something that you develop a system, develop a software. It is for only for that focus, or only for that situation at that time. Because you have to think about, okay, now we have to for feature of a car, something like that. So yeah, now we in the future, for probably the infotainment will have a lot more information. So if I build a car, just purposely to have this infotainment system that is not expandable uh, or modularized. So a lot of people will not buy it because they know that, oh, in the a new in 2 or 3 uh, years there will be added more features on infotainment, right? So if you don't give a platform to that car to evolve or to adapt a new features, then yeah, the product will be something like stagnant. Okay, so a lot of people don't like to have that, right? Because you didn't give any features of expandable of the car. Okay, that one is revision, and the last one is transition, right? The transition uh, involve portability, right? Reusability and interoperability. So in portability, you have software system independence. What else? Machine independence, reusability. You have a modularity, and then so on. Interoperability, communication commonality, data commonality. So okay. So what is in your mind? What is portability here? Portability that involves software system independence and also machine independence. So what is portability? Can you give example of portable?
Easy to carry.
Again, Hazik?
Can easily carry it around wherever you go.
Again, Abida? Sorry, it's not really clear to me.
You can easily carry it around wherever you go.
Or you can carry around wherever you go. It's portable. Mm, not really correct. Yeah. Anyone else? Operating system. Yeah. One example. So it is can be port to any of operating system. Let's say you have software that developed in Java. You can develop in yeah. You can deploy your system in Linux or in in Windows, probably in Mac, right? So other thing, portability. What is software system independence and also machine independence?
Is it the software can stand for itself without um without affect other system?
Mm, no, it
How
is not
about
some.
design of the software, like the UI UX? Like it can be both in desktop and mobile.
Yeah, this one is a good example because something like you develop the software using some responsive page, something like that. So you can view in any of the browser and also the mobile browser, right? So this one is portable. Okay. So I have a what do you call it? This one. Okay. Operating system. Yeah. Open independence of any operating system. So can be accessed from another device. Yes. You can. It is portable to a lot of people. Sorry. If it is developed or is tested in Samsung, and then if it is released, and all device can be used for that. That one is portable. Okay, good. How about reusability, guys? Reusability. Reusability that involve also system independence, machine independence, and also modularity. So, what do you think in your mind about reusable? Reuse something like yeah, reusable.
Is it like it only needed to be constructed once and being able to use it multiple times?
Yeah, able to use it multiple times. Able to use it if you want to develop a new one, and then you can reusable these features or the service and so on. That one is called reusability, right? And then also something like you develop a service that other programmer, if they want to extend this one, then they can reuse. this API, or the one that you have developed, or the service that you have developed. Interoperability. Or what is interoperability? Interoperability. What is in your mind? It is about something like communication and also data community. So can you give example?
Maybe data exchange between software.
Yes, data exchange between software is good example, right? So you have you're not using something like, because if you do the messaging right in your software, you need to comply with probably some one standard or one or two standard, right? So some other software can understand that, they can communicate with your software. If you would do some proprietary what call that communication, meaning that something like now you use what call it JSON, you use XML to communicate, but and then you say that, oh, I don't want to use that one, I want to use another format of communication. This is my own format of communication. So it is not interoperability, because people cannot understand what you are giving to them, right? What the system to system communication. Okay,
Doctor,
guys. Yep.
Doctor, what is the difference between portability dengan interoperability?
Oh, okay. So
Because it have the same meaning.
it's not the same meaning. Portability, that you can port the system to other environment, right? Meaning that you can, okay, now I execute my software in let's say in Windows, and then after that I want to also to execute it in Mac or in Linux. So that one is portable. You can port this
Oh,
to, but interoperability is you can sorry, the system can be operate to with another system, right? So you something like the communication commonality, meaning that from system A and system B, let's say a system A is something like mm, okay, I try to get an example. Uh, okay, let's say we have two systems, right? We have a road transport department system, and also we have a system for police, right? So both systems actually have to communicate each other in order to get a driver summons, right? So JPJ, or the transport department summon, is different, and also the police department different, but they have to communicate each other in order to get the total number of summon, right? And then all the detail of the summons, right? So this is, they have to operate each other. So this is interoperability. They have to communicate each other. So communication should be something like in a standard. So in the common what call that common standard, that A or the RTD, Road Transport Department, if they want to send the data to the police, and they have to comply with some standard. Okay, so I hope it's clear,
yes.
guys. Yes,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you. So we are moving to another model. So you will learn about a lot of model. So it's not a super model, right? So it's a bit dry, it's a bit boring, but it's you need to learn that, right? This is something that the basic of the quality. Okay, so this BOM quality model. This is I think 1 year after McCall, around 1978. Yeah. So it is something like the perspective of BOM, right? It is more a bit more specific here, because this is more high level for McCall, right? This is a bit more specific. Oh, by the way, matrix here. Okay, matrix here is something that how to measure all this, right? The metrics of measurement, right? Uh, the simplicity and so on. But the one here, they didn't give any specific measurement on how to to measure this. They give the quality criteria, but in order to evaluate that, it is based on the situation, right? Because you cannot say that it should be really a high access control for all system, because sometimes the system is used for only one guy. So why you want to have a really high access control, right? Because he is doing that, and then the software is not really what I call that really high risk and so on. So why we want to have a really high access control? So that one is the metrics is depend on you. Okay, so both quality model, the perspective is general utility, that is more towards the portability. As is usability, utility, the thing that more towards the user, reliability, uh, efficiency, and human engineering. So human engineering is something like UI UX, how to use the system, and also maintainability. It focus on testability, understandability, and modifiability. While we have something like quality factors here, quality factors, quality criteria, and also the metrics, but here we have primary users, right? We have intermediate construct, and the last one we have primitive construct. So a bit different terminology, right here. So in portability, they have something like device independence, the one that you have mentioned, device independence, and also the platform independence, and so on. And then portability of they think about completeness, right? So the completeness of the portable. If you port to this one, it's not only half of the features can be done, but it is all features. Meaning that if you put the software into into different platform, it still can be used. Okay, so reliability, more on to accuracy, is reliable. It's accurate. When I send this data, I can get the one that I expected. So it's accurate, right? And it is consistent, right? As I mentioned to you before, if I click this one, it should be something different. 10 times I click this button, it should be the same answer. It is not consistent, something like 5 times I click this button, the answer is A. Another 2 times is B. Another 3 times is C. So this is not consistent. Okay. So reliability consists of accuracy and also consistency for the BOM model. So efficiency. So efficiency is efficiency. So the device is efficient to what fit for purpose, and accessibility, right? So the intended user can access that, right? Accessibility here, right? So if you are developed for a disabled people, so you have to have a device, special device for that, or special button, or special any of the features that can support the user of the system to be efficient, or the system to be efficient to give to the user. Human engineering. So people can communicate with the system. It is not something that you can do anything. It's just click 1, 2, and then that's it, right? You cannot configure anything. So people can communicate with the system. And also accessibility, right? So this is also crucial for the human engineering, that people can access the system. Okay, this is as is utility, meaning that the product can be used. Another one is the maintainability, right? So it is same that like we have already mentioned, what call that, already learned from the McCall, right? So it is should be testable, structuredness, and descriptiveness, and understandably it can be understand, concise, legibility, and also modifiability, augmentability. We can add more features, right? So from the maintainability point of view for the BOM, right? Quality model, it's testable, right? It can be tested. Um, Understandability, it can be understandable, right? and index can be modifiable. This is the thing that BOEM think about maintainability. Okay, so what is the what call that the advantage of BOEM, right? So the advantage is it more towards the user satisfaction. If we see here, reliability, efficiency, and also human engineering. It put it in the intermediate construct, so it is more towards the what call it, the user, and then the focus on maintenance and also the effectiveness. So effectiveness, right, and also the maintenance. Same with the McCall, right? Disadvantage here that they list all this so-called for me is the sub characteristic, right? So the primitive construct. But the problem is how to measure it. So the measurement is still subjective, right? So this is not really, it you can use it, but to measure it is not easy. Right. Two models that you have already learned. First, McCall and also BOEM. The other one is HP, FURPS. I don't know, FURPS or something like that, right? So they have, they don't put something like this, right? That this is connected to this, and this. They just put it something. It's more on hierarchical, right? More on direct hierarchy. So what is the mean of quality for them, right? The quality for them is this one, this characteristic. It should be functional. Functionality is to be usable, reliable, perform or perform wise, and supportability, right? It can be support, right? So for functionality, you have a feature set, right? You have capabilities and generality and also security. This is the thing in the functionality. This is usability is the human factors, aesthetics, yeah, the what call that, the beauty of the system, something like that, um, and also consistency, right? And also documentation. They have manual and so on. So it's should be all the systems should be usable and have some manual to refer, and also some other information, something like the software specification, design, and so on, right? So it should be reliable, right? And also recoverability, predictability, accuracy, and mean time to failure. Okay, so this is reliable. Okay, guys, this is a bit different than before, right? So frequency, severity of fail, and you know, right? How many frequent, how frequent the software uh, fail and also have defects and so on. So recoverability. Okay, what is recoverability? What is recoverability?
Uh,
Can recover when it fails.
Discover and it fails, right? Example? Can someone give you example?
Maybe like how the system can boot up after it's being severely down, experiencing
Mm,
downtime.
okay, good. Haziq, example?
Uh, for example, like our Microsoft Word, like when we're doing some assignments and then suddenly our laptop shut down or have errors, and we can recover back our previous assignment.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, this one is that's a really uh, common that you can understand the recover, right? When you do something in your words and then after that you accidentally shut down, or there's something happen in your PC and then you restart back and then you can get the recovery. That's a good one. In terms of system, okay, more example, guys. Recoverability.
to system recovery?
Sorry, again?
Are we talking about system recovery?
Yeah, system recovery now. Yeah. Okay. This is example. Yeah. Haziq, again.
Nothing. I run out of ideas. I ran out of ideas. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Fine. All right. So recoverability. Okay. There are some example from my experience. Okay. Yeah. Doing some project. Normally, we are thinking also about recovery. We are thinking a lot of recoverability. So how fast the system recover after a server downtime? How fast? Okay. This is an answer, or it is something like, okay, how fast? Oh, answer. All right. Okay. Sorry, Aisha. Um, yeah, how fast the system recovers after a server downtime? Yeah, it is not only how fast. Is it recover or not? Yeah, how fast is, yes, one characteristic that we need to think, because sometimes you put okay. No, normally we have from my experience, we will try to design the software or the system that have two servers, one server for sleep, one server for active, something like that. So this is example of recoverability when the active server down, and also and then after that the sleep server will take over, something like that, right? This load balance and so on. So you can have four servers and then load balance to all, and then when it turned down, and then one sleep server will recover, right? And then it should be fast. The one that one of your friend mentioned, it should be recovered probably 1 second or 2 second or probably around 30 minutes to recover the system, right? It is not something, yeah, if the system down and then you repair the system, that also recoverability, you can recover it, but as Aisha mentioned, is how fast, right? It is not possible, because if you are thinking about a simple system, right? A simple system in the organization probably is just people cannot work. People cannot work for 1 hour. People cannot work for 2 hours because the system is down. Let's say the system, something like a Putra Blast. It is, yes, it is crucial for students to learn. And then if it is down, then affect a lot of, but it is not affect life. It is not affect a lot of money uh, a lot of money to what do you call that to be uh, lost, something like that. But if you're thinking about banking or something like payment gateway, the one that you do shopping online, right? Shop online and then you pay something, and then they have something like payment gateway. But if the payment gateway cannot recover during downtime, probably downtime around 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, that will have a really, really high impact on the profit of the company. Sometimes 1 hour you can have the loss of 1 million, 2 million, right? So that's a really, really crucial things of recoverability. Is it recover or not, right? You can also in a lot of from my experience, a lot of government sectors, they have something like disaster recovery facility, or called DRF, right? Disaster recovery facility is something like, normally in your organization you have a data center, right? The data center will serve all the system, uh, what do you call that system, server communication and so on, in that but it from that data center, right? So if the data, because it is a crucial thing, it's really, really high sensitive organization, highly critical organization. If this organization down, and then they have a problem with the government, what do you call that a government process, or what do you call that operation, sorry, a government operation, then they have something like a DRF that is located outside the building, the same data center, or a bit limited of the data center. Probably the data center have maybe 200 of servers, but in this DRF they only have around 100,000 of 100 server that can serve 50% of the operation of the data center. If anything happened with the data center, then after that, the DRF, disaster recovery facility, will boot up or will take over in probably around 30 minutes or 25 minutes or 15 minutes, depend on the DRF. So this is recoverability. So if anything happens, the system can be recovered as fast as they can, right? So predictability, accuracy, right? Be accurate. And then what is the mean time to failure? Mean time to failure, mean time to mean time to failure. What is mean time to failure? MTF, right?
I think it was the average time
Mm-hmm.
of failure. It mean
Average time is correct, Haziq, but mean time to failure. What is the mean time to failure? The average time to failure. Yes, Azwan?
Is it the time that we use the system until it fail to complete the process?
Yeah, that's really nearly correct. Yeah, yes, it's correct. So it is average time before the system fail, right? Average time for a failure to be happen. Yes, thank you, Tan. Yeah, that one is correct because actually, but you cannot measure it when you release the product because you don't know when the time of failure of the system. Let's say you cannot do anything, but you can see the trend, right? You can see the trend that the system will crash after 3 months, right? And then the crash is about the database crash. The problem is about the database, right? So you can see the trend of, okay, every 3 months I will have problem with the database, and then we cannot scale the database anymore because of some cost constraint and because of the resource constraint. And then what we can do is we know that okay, 3 months, and then before 3 months, probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, we do the database cleanup, and after that, it will be not happen, right? So it is something that the mean time to failure. And then when we know that mean time to failure, when we have to do something for that. So no mean time to failure is something that really crucial in this model, right? For the reliability issue. Okay. So next is performance. Performance is about they say about speed, right? Efficiency, resource consumption, right? Throughput, and also the response time. So this is more specific. Yeah? The speed of the system to respond, efficiency, and also resource consumption, right? Normally when we develop a system and then we release that, right? And there is a what call that server guy will try to see all the performance of this of the server, how many memory that they use, uh, how about the CPU utilization, memory utilization, network utilization of the system. So we need to see that the consumption is okay. It is because if the memory is really high, then the system, normally the system will slow for this kind of problem. Okay, the response time, right? You have to measure the response time, right? If I click this button, it's just simple to calculate my BMI, but I have to wait for 5 or 10 seconds. That's just really, really, problem with the performance, because the BMI calculation is just a simple one. So you have to uh, respond in, I think, less than 1 second, right? Supportability, right? The one that we mentioned about maintainability. So they put it here, HP put it here, supportability of uh, the one that we have: testability, extendability, adaptability, compatibility, configurability, serviceability, installability, and also the last one is localizability. So what is the localizability here? I think this is quite obvious. Testability, you know what? Extendability, you know what? Adaptability, the system can adapt to another environment, something like that. Compatibility is compatible with some regulation and so on. So configurability, you can configure it. It is not static. Something like uh, you have you not do the hard code of postcode and so on, and then you have to change the code if there sorry, you have to change the source code if there is more source code. That one is not configurable, yeah, because you need to put it in the database and then you can change it, right? It is not the hard coded. So that one is configurability, serviceability. Install, it can be installed, right? Right, can be serviced. What is localizability here?
Is it like being able to have the program written in, or the system written in multiple languages?
Yes, this is a good example. Yeah, correct, Hazik. It's a good example that localizability. Let's say you import a vending machine, the one that you pay, and then you can get the water or some biscuit or chocolate, something like that. That the vending machine from Japan, right? You import it from Japan, and then you just put it in your faculty, and then okay, this is a vending machine and you can buy it there. So it is not localized because you have to change it in English language and or in Malay language. Yeah, it should be in the Malay language. It's more localized, right? So this is the changing of language is something like example of localizability. So now three model. We have another two models, right? So another model is the ISO 9126, right? So may I know what is the difference between compatibility and also adaptability? Okay, good. Thank you for the question. Right. One is okay, compatibility, meaning it is compatible with other what do you call that? Okay, for example, compatibility is you can use your system into different kind of a browser. That is compatible. It's compatible to IE. It's compatible to uh, Mozilla. It's compatible to also Google Chrome and so on. That one is compatibility. It's compatible, right? So, and then adaptability. Adaptability is something more towards the environment. From my point of view, it's more toward environment. It can be adapted to a new environment, right? So if it is if what call that is it if the changes in new environment, it can be adaptable, right? Okay, okay, guys. One example is, do you familiar with machine learning software? And anyone know about the AI software or machine learning software?
Um, Sorry, what was that?
The machine learning software that built based on machine learning.
Oh, do you mean like Google Assistant? That's all I
Yeah. Google Assistance. When you do browse, Google Assistant, it is more adaptability because your what call that your way on using the system, or something like what do you call that? Okay, let's say a Google Assistant is assist you to show you the route, the best route to get home, right, from the office, right? So every time you use the normal route, and then after a while you change the car, you have a really nice beautiful car and a nice speed, and then you use the different route, more straight what call that, straight line, but a bit far. After you use that one for a couple of time, and then your system will adapt to the new route, right? Because previously it learned that you use the first route, but now we have the second one. Okay, doctor, if we open our Google Play Store and some of the application cannot be downloaded because it is not for our country, it is can be localizing. Okay, if we open the Play Store and some of the application cannot be downloaded because yeah, that one is localizing issue. Yeah, this one is localizing issue. I've also have problem with this when I install the application while I was outside Malaysia. Then after that, when I think that I can use it in Malaysia, but yeah, when I what do you call that, I open the application, it is saying that it is not available in your country. That one is, yeah, localizing issue.
Doctor,
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
about
sure.
the
Yeah.
localizing,
Mhm.
sometimes if we can open the browser from the other country, we use VPN,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
and it's access to open the other country website. So is it VPN? Is it what we call is one way to a proper way to localizing it or not?
Oh, using the VPN. Mm. Mm. For me, this is from my point of view. Sorry if it is I don't know, it's a bit different. But if we open that and then the application is not what call that the application that we use is not against the what call that against the regulation in the country, that's fine. This is fine. It's just something like people's not localizing that application for your for the country. But if something that is not really good, something like you are downloading someone movies and so on because it is not permitted here, but if you're using VPN, then you can get it. That one is that one is illegal. That is not a good one. Uh, it is not what I call it. It's not a good ethics to do that, right? It is more towards. It's not technical. Technical, you can do a lot of things. You can do the VPN here and there, and until you can download that what call that movies or that software. But it is more in ethic, right? If it is forbidden in your country, and then but you still want it, you still do it, but in another way, that one is wrong. I hope that I can answer you, Shazwan.
Yes, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Okay, so you can you can what do you call that you can differentiate between the compatibility and also adaptability. But somehow, actually, compatibility and adaptability is some kind of a bit related, right? So you need to compatible to adapt a new what do you call it uh, a new environment. Okay, so but you can differentiate, but the compatibility and adaptability, but it is related. I hope you can understand that. Okay, guys, can I continue to another model? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay. So now a lot of models. So we have already three models. So this is the model, Monday morning model, right? Okay. So the ISO IEC 9126 quality software quality models. So we have something like here five, right? But now here we have more. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, right? When I previously when I learned this model, I normally what do you call that? Uh, Refer this model as a F R sorry R E U M P. We call it Fruum model, right? This is this is sorry this is full. This is Fruum model because it is something like F E. Sorry, this is U first. Sorry, U E. Sorry, this is U E. Fruum. U E M N P. At that time, I have to remember all, but for you, I'm more towards understand. Need you to understand a bit. Remember is better, but I need you to understand this model, and because the exam most probably you can use your notes. It's uh, open book something. So in functionality, they have something like external and also internal quality. Yeah. Okay. You have suitability. From under functionality, you have suitability, the suitability of the function, accuracy, interoperability, security here, and also functionality compliance. Is it compliant with the function? Right. Okay. Maturity in the reliability, fault tolerance, recoverability, the one that we have discussed, and reliability compliance. Okay. Under usability or U, understandability, learnability, operability, attractiveness, and also usability compliance. And efficiency, you have time, you have resource utilization, same with before that I mentioned before, and also efficiency compliance. Is it comply with the efficiency? If something like you have to fulfill some criteria or some standards of efficiency. Okay, maintainability, analyzability, changeability, stability, testability, and also maintenance compliance. Portability, it is adaptable, can be installed, coexistent, right? Replaceability, and also portability compliance, right? So I will not give more detail here because most of this you already know. Functionality, reliability. So functionality is the system features, right? The function, okay? Usability, efficiency, uh, maintainability, we have already discussed. Portability, we have already discussed. Because after this model, it came a new model here called ISO 25010 product quality model. So it is almost the same with this, probably an enhanced model of this. So the new model for this one, or enhanced or updated model for this one, is the ISO 25010. So in ISO 25010, right, you have a functional suitability, the function completeness. So is it the function complete? So okay, so now we try to imagine a software, right? When we want to see the functional suitability here, suitability, so we want to see the product or want to see the software. Is it all the requirement, all the function that stated from the customer or from the stakeholder, is it complete or not? Let's say I give five function. Uh, we can create a we can create a user, we can delete a user, we can update a user, we can modify the user and so on. So this we have four. Sorry, we have four now. So, but you cannot delete it at the end of the process, or when the software release, you cannot delete the user. So the function is not complete yet. So the function completeness, functional correctness, the one I mentioned to you before, when I click button A for calculate my BMI, so it should be a BMI, and it is correctness. Functional appropriateness, meaning that the function is in the appropriate way, right? Can be what I call it. It is related to the system. Functional appropriateness, meaning that okay, the system is calculating the BMI, right? The system is calculating BMI. You have input of your weight, your height, right? And then is it male or female? Where you are located, is the Asian or also in Europe or US and so on. So this is something like the BMI of function, calculate BMI function. This is for the input. But one more thing, you ask the user to also give the input of what is your preferred color. Is it appropriate here? It's not appropriate, right? Because it is only that thing that we need to do. We needed to calculate the BMI. It is not about the color, right? What is your favorite color? It is not really related to the function. So the functional appropriateness. So it appropriate, meaning that only the things that we needed is in also in the software. So appropriateness. So next is the performance efficiency. Time behavior, right? Is it respond in the correct timing? Resource utilization. You are buying a software, or you are buying a server for that, right? For that system, that server have probably around 128 gigabit RAM and so on, and then should be the RAM is sufficient, right? So how is the resource utilization and also the capacity? Next is compatibility, interoperability, and coexistence. Okay, what is coexistence, guys? Interoperability, I think you know, right? What is coexistence?
Coexistence, is it like being able to install multiple, was it system? Being able to exist with other system, something like that.
Okay, yes, correct. Being able to be exist with another system, right? So because you are not normally in software development now, you cannot normally software is not stand by its own. It sometimes is coexistent with some other, right? So for example, for system that try to get uh, foreign worker, right? The foreign worker system is handled by normally, if I not mistaken, is from the immigration department of Malaysia. Then after that, it is not only that one; they also have to coexist with the human resource ministry, because how many people that they want to have is based on the projection of the human resource department. So this is something that the co-assistant, they should work together, right? Dependent, and they should work together really well. Okay, so the co-assistance. So usability, appropriateness, recognizability, learnability. So what is learnability? Is easy to learn, right? Operability, error protection, user aesthetic, aesthetic, aesthetics, something like beautifulness, something like that. Accessibility, right? Remember, accessibility is not only it is depend on the user, right? So you have to give functionality to the users, or special function for the user if they need a special assistance, right? Something like the one who the disabled people want to use the system. Reliability should be what call it, involve maturity, maturity, sorry, availability, fault tolerance, and also recoverability. Availability meaning that if the system is meant to be operated 24 by 7, it should be in 24 by 7, right? Now, here, because previously from ISO, we have security in functionality, but in ISO 25010, security is one of the main pillar, right? So you can see that confidability, integrity, non-repudiation, accountability, and authenticity. Okay, so guys, just want to ask, do you learn about security before? Is there any security course that you attend during this
No.
2 years? No. Okay. So do you know what is confidentiality? Confidentiality.
The information is secluded or
Yeah,
no hidden.
is secure. So it is not open to anyone that shouldn't be get the information, right? What is about integrity? A lot of people talking about integrity. So what is meaning of integrity?
I think it was the data is not lost or is not changed. Something.
Yeah. How about non-repudiation?
No, I don't know.
Okay, we try to find some assistant here of non-repudiation. Can you see my screen here now?
Ah,
So this is the mean of confidentiality. Okay, so the degree to which a product or system ensures the data are accessible only to those authorized to have access. So this is the mean of confidentiality, right? So the data is only can be accessed the one who give and authorize, right? Integrity, degree to which system, product, or component prevent unauthorized access or modification of computer program or data. So this is mean of integrity. Prevents unauthorized access, right? Or modification of the computer program and data. Non-repudiation, meaning that degree to which action or events can be proven to have taken place, right? So that event or action cannot be repudiated later, meaning that you can verify that I am giving or I am sending the data to you, meaning that I give the data, I give an email. So this is me. I am the one who give the email, and you can able to trace that, right? And then I cannot deny that I have given you the email, right? So this is non-repudiation. And another one is accountability, right? The degree to which the action of entity can be traced uniquely to the entity, right? You can trace the event, right? So this is the accountable, meaning the accountable. If anything happened, then you can trace it. Okay, A to B, B to C, C to D, right? The one that some of you use VPN, right? So first from Malaysia to Brazil, from Brazil to US, and US to Canada, and Canada you go to the Japan, the one that you want to download the software, something like that. So it is traceable here, accountability, right? Because you have your username and so on. So authenticity, meaning that degree to which the identity of a subject or resource can be proved to be one claim. So authentication, something like that. This is the example. Right. So this is security, right? The confidentiality, confidential, right? Secret, something like that. Uh, maintaining the secret, integrity, non-repudiation, accountability, and also authenticity. Of course, they have some relation to each other, right? It is not something like a different thing between those. Okay. Next is maintainability. So you have modularity, reusability, and analyzability, modifiability, and also testability. And last but not least, okay, how can I wait? We have here adaptability. Uh, wait, I cannot see this one. Oops. Oh, okay. Sorry. The problem is I copy this. Okay, guys. Sorry for that. So, right. Refer to the document. Okay, under portability, we have adaptability, and we have installability, and we have replaceability. So I can show it here. Okay, we have under this portability, we have adaptability. The degree to which a product or system can effectively and efficiently to adapt it for different or evolving hardware, software, or other operational or usage environment. Installability, the degree of effectiveness and efficiency with which a product or system can be successfully installed and or uninstalled in a specific environment. It's not only installed and also uninstalled. Okay. And the last one is replaceability. Okay, the degree to which product can be replaced by another specified software product for the same purpose in the same environment. Okay, that's all for the quality model for the product, right? So we sorry. Next session we will learn about the process quality, right? Software and yeah, some other surface safety and so on. So I think for today we will stop at this, right? And then if you ask me which one I prefer or normally use for my consultancy of quality inspection, I use the 25010, the new one. Yeah. Okay, guys. Any questions so far?
Do no, not for now.
So we have learned five, right? Five models. One model is McCall. Another model is BOEMS. Yep. Third model is FERPS from HP. The fourth model is from the ISO 9126, the quality model. And the last one is 250110, an advancement of 9126, the product quality model. Okay, I hope you understand this, right? It is about the software characteristic, right? So if we want to evaluate a quality of a software, this is the model, the one that you have to see, the perspective that you want to uh, to use, right? So if you now, I hope that something like, if you find a software, right? If you use a software, let's say you use Lazada, if you use Shopee, if you use something like or even Putra Blast and also ESMP, something like that, you can see all the things. You can see in term of functional, because if I ask you, if someone asks you, what is the quality of your Putra Blast, or what's your quality of ESMP, or something like or Shopee, or something, some software that you normally use, right? So you can say that, okay, from the perspective of functional, so from the perspective of performance, Protoblast is not really good. Sometimes problem and so on. So compatibility, that one I cannot. You cannot say that, because you cannot. Sorry, you can compare compatibility of Protoblast in your phone, and also what do you call that, in your laptop. Usability, is it easy to use? No, something like usability. For example, how to measure usability is something like the step on how many steps to complete the process, right? If you just want to have something like uh, it's just a simple registration, and but you have to click here, and after that click here, 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 and here, and then finish. This is something that is annoying, right? It is it is not a really good software, because it is not good in usability, right? In order to perform, or in order to complete a function, you have to do a lot of things, and then a lot of things can be automated actually, right? So yeah, reliability, security, others can use my credential or my account. That is the problem with the security, and also from the maintainability part, that one is not your perspective. It is more towards the developer perspective, and also the portability and so on. Okay, guys, I hope that you can understand this and apply this, right? So if someone asks you, okay, someone asks you about what is the quality of a software or product, you can answer it based on, okay, according to the ISO, functional, blah, 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 blah. And then I see the function of the system is something like this. So you'll be able to evaluate or assess a software based on the quality model. Okay, questions so far, guys, before we end our session this morning? Model here is referring to guidelines, right, doctor? Okay, models is uh, yeah, a, guideline, but more on the models here is a characteristic, right? The ISO is a guideline. Okay, ISO is a guideline, but model, if I ask you, model is about the characteristic of the software. Quality model is the quality characteristic of the software. Sorry. So the what call that uh, ISO can be a guideline and also something like that force, but normally it's a guidelines, right? ISO, IEC, IEEE, they give you guidelines on how to do something. Okay. What else? Any more questions?
No. No.
Okay. we'll see you on Wednesday, inshallah. So I wish you a good, yeah, a good morning.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.